Hi there. I don't know about you, but I get really excited about dirt. I like to walk around barefoot in it. I like to plant things in it. I like to get up really close and see what's crawling around in it. I get excited about the world under our feet, and I'm here today to get you excited too.
That part of the environment that includes dirt or soil is known as the lithosphere. The lithosphere is the land we live on. It's made up of soil and rock and is the place where plants and animals live. We don't think much about it, but soil is necessary for people, animals, and plants to survive. We need healthy soil to grow food, clean our water supply, and protect the places we live from flooding and drought. Soil is also vital in our fight against climate change. Plants send carbon into the soil through their roots in a process called photosynthesis. The soil holds on to this carbon, keeping it from going into the air above. Too much carbon in the air or atmosphere causes temperatures to rise, throwing our entire environment out of balance. Healthy soil, the kind we need to grow a wide variety of plants, including those we eat, is a complex mixture of organic matter, along with sand, silt, and clay particles. Without this good soil, plants can't grow the way they need to. This is called soil degradation. At this point, the quality becomes too poor to support life. This is the case for much of our soil today, and sadly, has been caused by human activities. These activities include the overuse of our land to grow crops, overgrazing of large herds of animals, the overuse of fertilizers and other chemicals, the removal of ground cover to build communities, and cutting down large numbers of trees in the process of deforestation. As you can see, there are many ways that humans harm the soil. But the good news is that there are also ways we can fix it. We can start by changing where we get our food, avoiding big companies and purchasing from local growers. We can replace deforestation with reforestation, planting trees to limit soil erosion. We can also practice composting, adding good materials back into the soil to make it healthy again. Composting is in fact a great place to start. For those of you who care about the soil as much as I do, composting can be your one thing to fight the climate crisis and help repair the environment. Remember at the beginning when I said I like to see what's crawling around in the soil? One of the things I'm looking for is worms. Worms are in a special group of organisms known as decomposers. Decomposers play an important part in the food chain, feeding on dead plants and animals, recycling them, and turning them into nutrients that plants use to grow. Let's look at this cycle in action in a prairie environment. Worms eat decaying matter, turning it into the food needed to grow grass. The grass is eaten by organisms called primary consumers, in this case, a grasshopper or rabbit. The grasshopper and rabbit become food for secondary consumers at the next level, like this owl or prairie dog. Finally, animals at the very top of the food chain, like the rattlesnake and fox, take their turn eating the secondary consumers. Animals at the top are called apex predators, or tertiary consumers. It's worms and other decomposers living in healthy soil that are there every step of the way, feeding on remains, turning them back into food, and keeping the system in motion. The problem today is that soil degradation has reduced the number of decomposers available. It's important that we add them back into the system to repair the soil and keep the food chain going, because without this cycle, plants can't grow and species are lost. An easy way to help solve this problem is by becoming part of the system as a worm farmer. That's right, a worm farmer. The fancy title, if you want to use it, is vermicomposter. You can set up your vermicomposting station using worms to eat scraps from the kitchen that would normally be thrown away. The worms will turn those scraps into nutrient-rich soil in no time. That soil can be returned to the environment along with the healthy new worms you raise, starting the whole process over again. Let me show you how it works. Start with a container like this plastic bin and drill holes in the lid for air circulation. Fill it 3/4 of the way full with damp bedding like hay or shredded newspaper. Scatter several handfuls of soil over the top and mix it in. Add food scraps buried in one section of the bin. These work best cut into small pieces and can include items like fruit, vegetables, bread, grains, and even coffee filters. Scatter either red worms or red wigglers over the top. They are readily available at most pet stores. The worms will move toward the scraps and start eating. When adding new scraps, be sure to place them in a different section of the bin to keep the worms healthy, and remember to add water as needed so the bedding doesn't dry out. This process can be restarted every 2 to 3 months.
We just learned a lot about healthy soil. So what do you think? Are you ready to become a worm farmer to help the planet? If so, we have detailed instructions on our website. Remember, we can all work together to make the world a better place. It just starts with one thing.